A seller begged me to sell her house today, so I watched her basement video and froze. Real estate agents get urgent calls all the time, but Veronica sounded sick and scared. She said, "I need to sell my house right now, today, if you can." I asked what was going on, and she just said, "Please, just come." The address was on Maple Ridge, a pretty colonial that should have been worth around $800,000. When I pulled up, a moving truck was already in the driveway, and every window was wide open, even though it was freezing in February. Veronica was outside in a hoodie, dragging boxes toward the truck in a rush. She didn't shake my hand. She didn't step toward the door. "I'm not going back inside," she said. "Everything we're taking is out here. Take whatever price you can get." I felt my stomach sink, but I also thought about the commission and the bills waiting at home, so I tried to stay professional. "What happened?" I asked. She lifted a box, then stopped mid-step and leaned forward, almost dropping it. The box shook in her arms. "We found something in the basement," she whispered. That's when I noticed the smell coming from the open windows. It was bleach, sharp and strong, mixed with something sour and rotten underneath. It burned my nose, and I tasted it in the back of my throat. Veronica pulled out her phone right away, and her hands were shaking. "My husband started renovating," she said. "He knocked down a wall." She hit play. The video showed a basement wall torn open and dust floating in a flashlight beam. Then the camera slid to the side, and behind the drywall was a small room, maybe 6 feet by 8, with a heavy door and no windows. There was a hidden way in, behind the water heater, Veronica said, her voice cracking. The video moved into the room. In a corner were kids' toys, swollen with mold, a tiny shoe, a stuffed bear. In the center was a wooden chair. Leather straps hung from the arms. The buckles were rusty. The flashlight swept the walls, and I saw scratches gouged into the concrete, deep and frantic, some of them low enough that my throat went tight. Veronica paused the video and pressed her knuckles to her mouth. "There were journals too," she said. "A metal box with names, dates, photos, things no one should ever see." I didn't know what to say, so I asked the question that popped out before I could stop it. "How many names?" She stared past me at the house and said, 17. My skin went cold. A moment later, her husband stepped into view from the side yard. He looked exhausted and hadn't slept in a week, and he was holding a bottle of whiskey in his hand. "The police took everything," he said. "They sealed the basement. They told us not to go near it." He swallowed hard and pointed at the house without looking at it. "But we can't stay. Every sound makes us jump. Every shadow feels wrong." Veronica's eyes filled up, but she still didn't cry. She just grabbed my sleeve and said, "I don't care about money. I just want out." I nodded, because for once, the usual agent talk felt useless. "Okay," I said. "No open houses. No families walking through. We sell as is. Fast." She let out a shaky breath she'd been holding in. Then she asked, quiet and sharp, "The realtor who sold it to us, did she know?" That question hit me harder than the video. I didn't want to guess. "I'll check the file tonight," I said. "I promise." I took photos outside, wrote notes, and made calls from my car, trying to keep my voice steady. One buyer asked why they were leaving so fast, and I just said, "Relocating." Veronica kept pacing the driveway, staring at the basement door, waiting for it to move. Within a few hours, I had a cash buyer ready to move fast. Veronica didn't ask about the price. She only asked, "How soon can we sign?" That night, I got home and couldn't eat. I opened my laptop and pulled up the old listing, the one with bright pictures and lines like "charming" and "great bones." My stomach twisted seeing those words next to that address. Then I saw the name of the agent who sold it, Patricia Webb. Retired now, but her number was still in the system. I stared at it, then called anyway. It rang, and she answered in a cheerful voice. "Patricia Webb," she said. "Patricia," I said. "This is another realtor in town. I'm handling Maple Ridge, the Kowalski place you sold." She chuckled. "Oh, yes, lovely home." I took a breath. "Did you know about the room in the basement?" The silence was so long, I checked my screen to make sure the call didn't drop. I could hear her breathing, slow and calm. Finally, she said, "Some houses have histories." My jaw clenched. 17 names, I said. "Did you know?" She didn't sound shocked. She just sighed, annoyed. "People need places to live," she said. "Markets need to move." My stomach turned, and I hung up, feeling sick.